there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with Darth Mod. We're playing as the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, and last time we cleared out the southwest area of the Croatian region. We cleared out this little fishery, which they have had assembled quite a large force. Also forced the Austrian Navy to leave this port. Could be that they would be moving north to actually open up trade from their main trade port, or their only trade port it is. However, that road is going to be cut pretty darn soon. I guess they, in a game kind of way, they'll probably still be able to get that trade through here. But as we noted last time, their capital is rebelling due to just partly how bad the war is going. I've never actually seen -14. I've known, you know, seeing my own capital sometimes, just playing single player and so forth, maybe seeing -3 or so after some disastrous battles on a front that I didn't have a lot of men. But 14! I've never seen something like that. 14, and then they're bankrupt as well. Yeah, it'd be really interesting if they actually rebelled and suddenly there's a Republican force or something fighting in Vienna, trying to depose the Emperor. Anyways, I think what everyone watching this episode was really looking forward to was this battle, in which I am outnumbered instead by the enemy. And you know what? What we're gonna do is, most of these units are broken down to the point where most of them won't be very useful, be brought in as reinforcement. What would be useful would be the cavalry, my hussars. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring them in. So we'll have a large contingent of cavalry coming in to support us. Could be possible there's some units of infantry could be useful. I would see the ones that would be around 200 men, but the others would be in risk of complete destruction, and it would be wasteful to just deplete that experience for no gain like that. Anyways, 9,000 MAs. They start off with almost 5,000, so they outnumber us by 4,000 at the start of this battle. I still think I have a pretty good chance. And yeah, I think we'll go right into it then. So let's go ahead and liberate Zagreb and the entire Croatian region from the hands of the Austrians. Let's quickly go over my positioning of the troops. We got the general right over here on the left flank, together with the 24-pounder artillery, which we have 3 batteries of 4 guns each. Next to them, on the furthest of the left, we've got the Polish Trabant cavalry, which is a guard cavalry. And I do believe, yes, these are the ones that carry pistols, and we have a similar unit on the other side, namely the Polish Royal Krazier Guard, which are the guys that, they look kind of like the winged hussars, just that they have the wings on the helmet instead. Then we got a long line of line infantry, and then we've got this kind of defensive position set up right here in the middle. We actually do have a road going through here, so I imagine that the enemy moved out from Zagreb to meet us outside and to stop us here, marching down the road, which I guess Zagreb is somewhere over there, if you follow the road at least. So this defensive position is made up by the howitzers in the center, 3 batteries with 6 guns in each. That's quite a lot. Then we've got grenadier guards on either side behind these embankments. to protect them. In front of them we got light infantry, which are supposed to put down their stakes. And because, of course, these are howitzers, we want to keep the enemy quite far away, as we've had quite the problem in previous, where the enemy has kind of marched in below their firing arc, so the artillery can't really help out. The thing is, I want them as far forward as possible because I want to be able to shoot as close to the enemy line. Now I notice that the explosive shots don't even reach the enemy starter's position. Neither will... Oh wait, this is the starting position. I thought that was the start of it, but it actually... Oh, we start really close to each other. Really close. They start even in the forest. My idea, at least, to have the line infantry march forward beyond this point, and this is basically a fallback point where we can fall back to. And then we, on this side, furthest right, we've got, as I said, the Royal Polish Cuirassier Guard. They also got pistols in case you need to use them. And yes, that is my setup. I wonder here... Trenches? No, I don't think trenches will be that good. The enemy had a lot of cavalry. The thing is, they had a lot of cannons as well. So hiding troops behind the trenches might be useful as well. We'll go for the stakes, I think. There's no way we're gonna have troops on that side anyways. Right, with that, let's go ahead and start. And start by marching the line infantry forward. In an even line, not like that. That looks good. The Austrian army has arranged before us. My artillery starts bombarding their front line. They've placed a lot of their artillery in the forest for some reason. And they're slowly backing them off. We blew a few pieces to Kingdom Come right off the start. You can see they've lost a few pieces over here. We've got a lot of cavalry up in front. And as I say that, I remind myself that we need to deploy the light infantry stakes in front of the grenadiers to protect them from cavalry charges. So we'll have the light infantry go ahead, and then also a bit overlapping here in front of the howitzers to protect them even further. The howitzers are bombarding, and we're trying to equalize the numbers of cannons in between us and the enemy. And we're also hitting quite a few of their infantry as well. They've placed a lot of stakes all over the place. As we are outnumbered to start with, we're going to be quite defensive, even though I've started the battle by marching out. Light infantry will be deployed on the flanks, with the possibility of them retreating as soon as the enemy looks to be coming our way. Maybe I gone a little bit too close to the forest, as the forest will soak up bullets. The enemy could place, say, the Albanian war bands up here and fire at us from a at least semi-protected position. They've got a lot of troops marching forward right now. As the enemy cannons... Yeah, the enemy cannons have started firing, and I imagine... Yes, as per usual, for some reason the enemy cannons really like to target my heavy cavalry. We're gonna send in these guys to start off with then. Right, the main line has started opening fire against the enemy, which is approaching. And it looks like they're not gonna stop in their advance to fire, but they're gonna go straight for us. Which means I definitely need to deploy those heavy cavalry. Looks like the Albanian warband is placing spikes at the edge of the forest, while we've got the so-called Landwehr militia moving straight into our line. Similar things are happening all across the line. Kind of weaker troops on this side. Except for the fact that there's Hungarian grenadiers there. But with this cavalry charge I can at least hold the enemy off my right flank for a bit. I think we need to call up the 2nd brigade there as well. And then we need to check on what's going on towards the center. It's mostly militia. They've struck. And the line is kind of holding. I can see that that unit that the militia struck had lost about half its troop. It's going a little bit better for those guys over here, but it's a lot of enemy troops over on this side. We're gonna send in, we've got 1 Swiss line infantry retreating. I'm gonna send in the Trabant guards, fire the pistols and shoot the enemy from the back. But it looks like... Oh, you know what? Hold your fire. Wait to fire until later. Right, I think... Yeah, the front line is collapsing under the weight of just the sheer amount. I don't know if we're gonna get time to use the pistols. They sent forwards a bit of cavalry there. I'm gonna try at least. I think actually it's better now to redraw the light infantry, at least on the left side. Let's see, I'm slowly walking this cavalry forward. Do they need to stand still to fire the pistols? I was hoping they would be able to fire them on the go. We're sent off their cavalry. Let's move back and sandwich this armed citizenry and smash that to pieces. Yes, we just fire the pistols. We can have them sit there and fire a bit more, I think. Now with our troops kind of out of the way, I think the Grenadier Guards can be allowed to fire at will. And then what I need to do here is kind of pull some troops back. I'm going to pull this one back towards the forest with the light troop following. And then the cavalry brigade. I completely forgot about what happened to the cavalry brigade over here, but it seems like they've done just fine. I'm going to send this one off to get the armed citizenry. And then these two are going to move towards the enemy over here. Large amount of troops are retreating from the front line. My cavalry, however, still going pretty strong over on this side. Gonna have a mass cavalry charge. The enemy is forming a square. Oh, their howitzers have quite the difficulty right now because the enemy is right on top of them. I'm gonna preemptive pull them back. I'm gonna tell them to attack. And then we're going to tell them to retreat from their position. We still have the cannon position up here, which right now is not firing at all, actually. Thing is, we've got the new shrapnel shot, which we will use. With me actually pulling back my artillery preemptively of the enemy. The Austrians in the center are pulling back. How's the cavalry doing on this side? This little group of Trabant cavalry might be permitted to retreat. Or all troops on that side will be permitted to retreat, or try to retreat anyways. Charge in over here. And then maybe we can draw these guys back because we need them over here. Have you not been able to get the bloody armed citizenry over there? Seems like quite the failure on the part of that cavalry. The enemy is right in front at the spikes, getting shot to pieces. There's somewhat, for some reason they're not firing back at us. I'm not complaining though. Oh, there we go. Now they're starting opening fire. You know, the fence, which I took very good time in actually building, is not going to be of use if you intend to stand upon it. But the thing is, I'm not going to... Oh. Well, I have to form square as enemy cavalry is charging in. Ooh, and they're going to just force their way through all of that and go after my cannons. The general will move down. I do have the shrapnel shot. They're still fighting that one Trabant unit. I want the shrapnel shot to go in and destroy the enemy over there. I want you to be deployed right over there, and then the Trabant cavalry to move over there. Our unit, our Trabant unit, was moved away. The shrapnel shot, which is kind of like... I don't know what you're gonna call it. It's explosive shell that throws basically a basically the same kind of shot as the what's it called? The grape shot. Just that it fires it. It can fire it at a longer distance because, well, it's fired out of a bloody cannon ball. Have the Royal Polish Guard retreat from this side. With the general, I need some troop here to protect the howitzers, but the troop should be able to get back on its guns. And the Austrians did utterly destroy my front line, but they got there and then they didn't get any further because they kind of broke and retreated on the second line. Not due to... really, I mean, they could have stayed on, but I guess they realized that, I mean, they could have continued pushing through, but it would have cost them, you know, so much to actually try and push through all of that. Got some cavalry fighting over there. Trabant versus Austrian hussars. And then my cannons doing short work of the enemy as it's forced to retreat. We're gonna fire round shot because I can see batteries over here, which I want to deal with. The Austrians has pulled back and are creating a line through there. I'm not entirely sure what exactly has happened to decide that that would be the optimal way of fighting at this point. Got a single provincial militia fighting out here, and if we go over the area, there's so many dead people there. And I'm kind of hoping that most of them are Austrian. I know that quite a lot of them are mine. Fire your guns! No, you're not gonna fire on the move. We've got a little square here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ride up at the side of it. You know, round shot is not that bad. Round shot is more accurate than the explosive shot, and if we're just trying to shoot down the enemy cannons, then I think that will work just fine for now. Oh, the Hungarian line infantry is retreating. Let's just make sure that these guys are not coming back, and then what I think I'll do is we'll send one of the Polish Royal Cuirassiers to take up position in the center with the general. They made a failed charge of the 6th Guard Cuirassiers towards my line, as they fell down into this area right here. This, as we kind of did, looks like we kind of dug a pit here and put the spikes down, but what it is actually, I think it's the road that goes right in front of here. Looks like there's a bit of an artillery duel at this point, as I can see cannon shots coming this way. I'm pretty sure we're gonna win it, as we can see loads of the Austrian cannon crews are retreating, and then also lots of destroyed cannons lining everything over here. We've got some enemy infantry coming closer. I'm gonna switch to explosive shot and target them, and then we're gonna leave it up to the artillery. The Trabant cavalry has been slowly being shot to pieces by me not noticing that they were under fire. The few artillery pieces that remain can, I think, would be easily taken out by the cannons I have left. Oh, Polish Guerrilla. Ah, they ran into mercenary unit, which is breaking, so we'll just leave it at that and hope that they break them. We have an advance of an enemy troop. It's foot guards, marines in fact, marching forward. Which we definitely need to rearrange the position of our men to face them. Looks like they're making their main assault though towards the right side. I don't think these howitzers have the capacity to fire that close, so we'll fire up towards the flank. Seemingly they are going for the cavalry on the flanks, so we're gonna push them back. I do have my guard cuirassiers now. They're gonna be stationed right there. The general is gonna be stationed right over there. And before we lose too much crew, they're not even firing towards... They're firing towards the grenadiers, they're not firing towards the cannons. So the marines have marched to kind of get a flank shot towards the grenadier guards. It's not really gonna work for them, I don't think. And now they come under fire from 3 different regiments. Actually 5. 4 I mean, because they get both the grenadiers. You know what? I want one of the howitzers to target that little square. And then we can get the Trabant cavalry coming in from the side. We'll be able to get the marines as they're steadily being depleted of troops, especially here on the right. And then over on this side, looks like, yeah, it looks like the howitzers that we've placed here are able to shoot these guys down. Oh, we're running out of bullets on this side. Oh, we have run out of bullets completely on that side, actually. For all units on this side. Right, I want the cavalry to go and get rid of this one. And then we cannot sit here and wait for the enemy just to shoot us down. But I kind of want the cavalry to at least stop the enemy from shooting at us, or now when they're regrouping. We'll counter-charge and get them. The cavalry will go straight through the artillery, and then the howitzers will all target the unit over there instead, as I do not intend to blow my own men to smithereens. Looks like the Austrians were overwhelmed by our quick melee charge. They had suffered so many casualties already. And then a big part of it was made up of militia and other crap. And only one line infantry regiment remains. A very experienced one at that. That's trying to hold off the grenadiers. And I guess it's acting as kind of a rear guard. Another enemy general has died. I think that's the 3rd one. I guess I never told them to actually do it like a full full gallop to attack the enemy, and we slowly just rode into them. You know what? I want you to go straight through them, and I think they'll rout just from that. Surprised that the Cuirassiers did not just break through Davy Crockett and his man. I don't know how it happened that I think it's the extra units mod I'm using that gave Austria a landway unit that looks like it's some fur trappers from North America. Oh, I completely forgot the Trabant cavalry again. They're probably really pissed with me. The smaller units coming forwards here, militia and so forth. Unfortunately, we never charged this unit, and now these guys are kind of out of bullets. What we're gonna do is we're gonna withdraw on this side, back to the artillery. This one's just gonna be stationed somewhere like there, just to stop the enemy from getting at my howitzers. The light infantry is gonna be there, and then these guns gonna hold fire, but then switch to canister and be ready to canister the enemy, canister the hell out of the enemy. Why am I getting the cavalry as well? Right, all my cavalry over here should regroup, and then the artillery should blast that unit that's coming right there. Right, the enemy's coming for us. And as they cross the hill, they get absolutely murdered by the canister. Shot after shot of canister is flying out of the cannon, destroying the enemy's formation. There's a risk here still of them getting towards my cannons. Right. There are spikes right there. But this one should be able to go straight through there. And it should be followed by the others. The howitzers should get another target. As I don't want to blow up my own cavalry. Charge through if you please. And the canister have sent most of the enemy off. Right, the reinforcement army is turning up. And even though I told them not to send in the general first, they've sent in the general first. Let's see if we cannot chop these bastards completely out of the way. Now the guards back on their post with the 2nd battalion right after them, and then the light infantry to occupy the forest. This unit is to fall any second now, and with that they'll switch to shrapnel, and I want to hit that one in the flank. You're gonna attack there. The howitzers gonna also target this one. I don't like that these guys are that close, but I am planning on charging these bastards down. They're very tired and they're concerned of their position. So I think if I can get some good cannon shots on them, then they'll hopefully be done for. I'm gonna send the 2nd general away. Ooh, that's nasty. It looks like the explosion of those shrapnel shot kind of killed our men instead, more than the enemy. I told them to aim for the unit down there, didn't I? Why did they aim for this one instead? Killing loads of our own men in the process. Not very nice. Oh, now you're out of bullets as well? Right, charge. One of our units is leaving the forest, which is not nice. I'm gonna withdraw that unit. We're out of bullets for most of our men at this point. Very few regiments remain with shot, except for the cannons. We're gonna see the grenadiers going in, charging down the Hungarian militia. 1st and 2nd Battalion. And getting rid of them. And then going on to get the 2nd Militia over there. Oh, you're out of bullets as well now. We should be getting more reinforcements. But it is those broken down units. And I can see the enemy is getting reinforcements as well. And then they have quite a bit of troops up here. And we need to keep up in front of the howitzers, because the howitzers, or really my cannons, going to be key to victory. Continue the charge and we'll sandwich the enemy over there. We'll reorganize these towards the center behind the howitzers. You will be stationed behind. Ah yes, now we're getting something that I want. The winged hussars have come to save the day. The grenadiers are charging in. And with that, we're routing that most forward unit. But with that, I want the units to retreat back behind the cannons. Let's see. These cannons are set to shrapnel. And I'll tell them to fire at will. And hopefully blow a big hole through everything that comes through here. And then hopefully the howitzers are able to target some of these. Or maybe I should target the cannons to get rid of them. The enemy is advancing on us, so... Oh shit, there's a lot of them, aren't there? And so far we only have one enemy, or one unit of winged hussars that have arrived. We have a weaker militia unit over on that side. Oh, now they're coming. Charge, stop them from getting at the cannons. It looks like they will still get at the cannons. Cavalry charging through. Winged hussars, I want you to go out there and then down the side. The cannons, are you firing? I hope you are. At the paradeurs or whatever. Looks like we're pushing back some of their troops at least that we're attacking. Or when I say some of them, looks like there's kind of a mass rout among the enemy. Pretty soon all will falter, and that they do. I can notice that the cannon crew is following with the attack here. Let's see if I can just collect all the cannons to come back. I want you to switch to round shot and blast the enemy artillery piece. Cavalry taking a long time to finish their part of the battle. Grenadiers going in to melee fight the Vied regiment, and just as they do that, the militia is done for. The enemy is broken, and it looks like the entire enemy army was broken. And I am victorious. For a moment there I thought I was kind of done for. No, not a single unit had any ammo left. Well, one unit. The broken down line infantry unit on the furthest left had ammo left. But other than that, and for the reinforcement, I was expecting 4,000 men in reinforcement. But it was all broken down units that was at company size. So it wasn't any major thing. And for what I could see, the enemy was still gaining quite a lot of reinforcement. But I think, in big part, it was due that they've squandered their generals. They had killed off their generals. I don't know how many we managed to kill, but I think I at least saw 3 of those notifications that turn up on the left side. So I think that was a big part by the enemy that they lost, because they, as per usual, just throw the generals away, and the morale effect on the Austrians was just too profound. Unfortunately, I think there's going to be a lot of Austrians left. The town, since we took it, will be completely crushed, which is a good thing. So, you know what? There probably won't be that many Austrians left. Unless they... I don't think they retreat out of town. We'll see. Let's go ahead and end battle and go to the campaign screen to see what actual effect we've got from this battle. We were victorious, but it was... I mean, we were barely victorious in this battle. But there we have it. So back to the campaign map, shall we? Here we have the results of the battle. It's kind of misleading, but it says, because it says I deployed 8,000 men, but I deployed 4,000, I think. What did I deploy? 5,000 I deployed. So out of that, yeah, 5,000 remaining. No, that's wrong. It's kind of misleading because it includes the reinforcement that never actually turned up on the battlefield. But I had around 5,000, and losing 3,000 of those is a lot. But I notice here that the enemy deployed 12,000, whereof which 12,000 was lost. Only 300 out of that army of 12,000 managed to get out. So I think that's still a pretty good bargain, that we lost 3,000, which of course was at least 60% or something like that, maybe 65%. Of my army that I deployed on the field, but the enemy lost like 99% of their force, leaving only 329. A lot of these, I imagine... You know what? No, I was about to say there were a lot of prisoners, but I just noticed that we actually killed quite a lot of them. What I was thinking with the prisoner part was the fact that all the troops that we that retreated on the field, that was still in the town, they kind of disappear because they can't retreat out of the town because we had kind of laid siege to it or attacked it that way. But I guess that, yeah, I think you know what I mean. Hopefully, probably not. Guard Grenadiers, Jesus Christ, they killed 725 men. Polish Cuirassiers lost 41, killed 600. Guard Grenadiers. They went from 1 chevron to, what is that, 5, 6, 7 chevrons. From 1 to 7. That's quite the jump. Which is quite strange, because they lost tons of men. A lot more than, say, this one. But this one killed, like, I don't know why this one only got 2, and this one got 2. But this one... I think it's... You know what it is? It's because the pool of experience is shared among less troops. Like, they have 90 men remaining. You know what? The other one has similar stats. So I don't know why. Maybe it's killing retreating troops. Maybe it is killing more experienced troops. I don't know. Seems a bit strange that this one would gain 6. But the one that killed more would only gain 2. Howitzers... Which one did worse? General's Bodyguard, of course. Because he didn't really take part. Oh, this is the reinforcement army. I was looking too far down the line. The worst units of the ones that actually took part in the fighting... Line infantry unit on the front line that was overrun. I mean, it killed roughly the same as it lost. There's the Trabant Guard that I forgot about. That one didn't do too well. But yeah, overall I would say that's a pretty good battle now, and now when we actually see the statistics. I didn't realize that I managed to kill 12,000 enemies. But there we have it. And the way to Vienna is kind of open, if it weren't for the fact that the army is absolutely gutted in terms of how many troops we have. And that goes for both, but we can rely on a few other armies to come up and shore up this. So we have the Marines that are... They could attack Pressburg and lay siege to that. And they would get aid from the army up here if they shed the Albanians. No, actually, the Albanians move further than the cavalry. Which is a bit strange. But they would be coming in to aid as well. And then the armies from the north... I mean, this one hasn't lost as many as the guys down south. So, at end turn, this one can definitely jump to attack the capital. I wonder if I should hold off on that just a little though, because I want to see if I can get the Austrian capital to completely go, just explode. I think we increased the war wariness by another point due to that defeat and the fact that they lost another province. Could probably do this one off camera, get rid of that one, and that would add another point. And then it would be just dealing with this kind of thin line of Austria that would remaining. And once Austria is done, we can just funnel all the armies over towards the Russian side. Because that's definitely needed, just because the troops are all over the place. Hopefully they'll gather their troops on end turn, and so I can, you know, they combine into one force somewhere, so I can actually fight them and crush them. But maybe they'll evade me the same way they evaded Napoleon. Right, yeah, there's nothing more for this episode, so I say, as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!